Former President Donald Trump's unwavering admiration for Russian President Vladimir Putin has been a disturbing constant throughout his political career. This alliance, inexplicable as it may seem, poses a significant threat to the very foundations of democracy, both at home and abroad. Trump's praise for Putin, a man widely recognized as an autocrat with a history of silencing dissent, undermines the values of freedom and self-determination that underpin democratic societies. Trump's actions often align with his rhetoric. His attempts to sow discord among NATO allies, his withdrawal from crucial international agreements, and his reluctance to hold Russia accountable for its aggression all point to a troubling pattern of deference to Putin's agenda. This dangerous dance has emboldened Putin, giving him free rein to pursue his expansionist ambitions in Ukraine and beyond. Trump's affinity for Putin extends beyond mere admiration. It's a strategic alliance that serves both of their interests. For Trump, Putin represents a model of strongman leadership, a style he clearly admires and emulates. For Putin, Trump's willingness to turn a blind eye to his transgressions provides cover for his increasingly authoritarian rule within Russia and his aggressive actions on the world stage. This unholy alliance is a stark reminder that democracy is fragile and must be constantly defended. The erosion of democratic norms, whether through overt attacks or insidious erosion, is a threat that must be confronted head-on. We must recognize the dangers posed by those who would undermine democratic institutions and hold them accountable for their actions. Trump's rhetoric on Ukraine has been nothing short of reckless, often echoing Kremlin talking points and undermining the sovereignty of a democratic nation. His repeated attempts to cast doubt on Russia's interference in the 2016 election, his downplaying of Russia's annexation of Crimea, and his suggestion that Ukraine was somehow responsible for Russia's aggression, all serve to embolden Putin's regime. This rhetoric has real-world consequences. By sowing division within NATO and undermining international support for Ukraine, Trump has created an environment where Putin feels empowered to act with impunity. The ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine, fueled by Russian-backed separatists, is a testament to the dangers of Trump's words. Trump's actions have also emboldened Putin. His decision to withhold military aid to Ukraine, a move widely seen as an attempt to pressure Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky into launching an investigation into his political rivals, was a blatant abuse of power and a betrayal of a vital ally. While this aid was eventually released, the damage had been done. The human cost of this conflict is immeasurable. Thousands of innocent civilians have been killed and millions more have been displaced from their homes. The international community must stand united in condemning Russia's aggression and supporting Ukraine's right to self-determination. In stark contrast to Putin's iron grip on power, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stands as a beacon of democracy and resilience. Elected in a landslide victory in 2019, Zelensky embodies the will of the Ukrainian people and their unwavering commitment to democratic values. His leadership during the current crisis has been nothing short of remarkable. Zelensky's courage in the face of Russian aggression has inspired millions around the world. He has rallied his people, bolstered their morale, and become a symbol of defiance against tyranny. Unlike Putin, who hides behind propaganda and disinformation, Zelensky communicates directly with his people and the international community, providing honest assessments of the situation and rallying support for his country's cause. Despite facing an existential threat, Zelensky has remained committed to democratic principles. Ukraine's parliament continues to function, free and fair elections are planned, and the country's independent media continues to operate, even under the most challenging conditions. Zelensky's leadership stands in stark contrast to the authoritarianism of Putin. He is a powerful reminder that democracy, while fragile, is a force to be reckoned with. His courage and determination serve as an inspiration to all who believe in a world where freedom and self-determination prevail. The ongoing crisis in Ukraine is a stark reminder that democracy is under threat around the world. From the rise of authoritarian leaders to the erosion of democratic norms, the values of freedom, liberty, and self-determination are under assault. It is imperative that we, as citizens of democratic societies, recognize these threats and take action to defend the principles upon which our nations were founded. We must hold our leaders accountable for their actions, demanding that they uphold democratic values both at home and abroad. We must support organizations that promote democracy and human rights around the world. And we must be vigilant in our own communities, calling out instances of intolerance, discrimination, and the erosion of democratic norms. The fight for democracy is a never-ending struggle, one that requires constant vigilance and unwavering commitment. We must not take our freedoms for granted, for they were hard-won and can be easily lost. Let us draw inspiration from the courage of the Ukrainian people and their unwavering belief in a better future. Let us stand together in solidarity, united in our commitment to a world where democracy, freedom, and human rights prevail.